Good morning. My name is Renisha Brabham, and this presentation is about my research argumentative essay. And the topic that I chose for the essay was how young is too young for a person to have a cell phone. On this slide titled Things to Consider are some factors that could determine if your child is suitable for a cell phone or not. Maturity and responsibility ties in hand. Do you have to ask your kid more than one time to do something? Or for children, do did you take the dishes out the dishwasher? Did your mom have to ask you to do it, or did you do it because you knew it has to be done? These are some things that can determine if your child is suitable or not. Another thing is education. When children ask for phones, they should be aware if their grades are not up to par, up to the parents' expectations, that can prevent them from getting a phone. What age is suitable for a kid to have a phone? I decided 13 because at the age of 13, you are socially aware of your surroundings and have a sense of danger. Also, with the exposure of the internet, there are so many things that are at the tips of your fingertips. So, I believe at this age, children have a sense of right or wrong. Digital literacy is so important in today's day and age. With the advancement of technology, things are constantly changing, and we have to be able to adapt and understand what's going on around us. Digital literacy helps us prepare for the future. It's important for children to understand or have a head start with digital literacy because of the way the country is going. At the age of 13, you start making lifelong friends. You've already been to school with these kids now, going on a couple of years. At this point, children want to interact with their friends outside of the school hours. So in order for them to do that, they will need a cell phone. I also mentioned in my essay that children are kind of forced to know what a cell phone is because there's landlines and house phones aren't a thing anymore. It's not as common. So they're exposed to cell phones. That's the first technology they may have known since their youth. And as for family, parents should know where to find their children at all times. I did pull an example, a personal experience of mine. When in high school, I was struck by a vehicle, and um, our band director wasn't there at the time because we weren't on campus, and I had to use a phone to contact my parents and the band director, and then they were able to come. And that's just a personal experience of mine that I was able to pull from, just to show how useful and beneficial a cell phone could be. Because you never know, like, with your kids. or what's going on when you're not there. I just wanted to further touch on the different ways to communicate. I talked about children wanting to talk to their friends outside of the school hours and how important it is for parents to be able to reach their children at any time and their location. But there are multiple ways nowadays to communicate with people. Um, you do have the standard way. Well, it's standard now, but sometimes you had to pay extra for for minutes and call times. But I guess the standard now, you could call and text people. And there's also social media now. You have so many apps that could open a chat thread. So I just wanted to add some additional information on that. There is a lot of controversy around the cell phone use in schools, and a couple of states are actually thinking about banning cell phones. But obviously, since my paper was the opposite of that, I just wanted to touch on it and then give my rebuttal. So, this is actually a quote from a student representative at a high school, and he was explaining how when you ban one thing, you're overlooking all the opportunities that could have came with it. And I think that's so important, especially how useful these phones could be in like the time of emergencies and as an additional resources in school, because like this can be an interactive thing. Like there are activities that you could use your phone for in school. And I just think there should be additional research going on before a a ban happens. And I think that's a problem that should be looked into. Okay, so I just mentioned in the previous slide about how phones can be uh, an additional resources in schools. So this is kind of like another um, advantage of having a phone in classes. So there are interactive apps that you can use in schools, and I have used these apps while in school. Duolingo is one of them. It's a learning app for learning languages, and it gives you audio and visual, and it lets you move at your own pace, and it really gives you a very easy and fun way to learn a different language. I was doing it for my Spanish class, and I think it just helped me a lot, and especially now, learning a language is so important because, like, I believe studies say in like the next 10 years, um, most people in this country will be bilingual, and the top two languages will be Spanish and English. But another app is Kahoot, and it's like a quiz app. Students can answer anonymously. They could type their name in, but they can make it fun. And it gives you a countdown, and it's real fun. It gets competitive, and it just keeps the class happy. And that's what you want to do. You want to make learning fun for your students. Additional things to look out for. So this is mainly for parents and their prevention efforts, even though not to expose their kids to so much things on the internet. So there are some things you can look out for. Um, Fake profiles, like adults posing as children. So I just want to make sure that parents know that they can stop some of these things from happening or prevent it from happening. There are parental controls which can limit what your child sees or does, and you have to have a pin for it. So that's great. So make it something that they won't know. And then there also are like tracking apps, and tracking makes it sound so bad, but it's very useful. Um, they have things like Find My iPhones on iPhones, and then they have Family 360, which you can download on any phone, and they give you the location, what speed you're going, if you're driving. It's a very good resource. And you can also set alerts on your kids' devices. And I also just want to be sure that parents know to have a understanding before giving their kids a phone. Like, make sure you sit your child down and you understand, like, this is what you can and cannot do. Like, set the expectations, and you know your child better than anyone, so you should know. I've already touched on this in the previous slide, but I did want to mention that I believe with Find My iPhone, or with iPhones in general, you could add your children on the same account as you, so you really get to see everything, like the text messages, the call threads. If you want to just be that, have an extra set of eyes, I think that's an additional feature that iPhones offer. And this here is my Works Cited page.